Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today because we have some very exciting General Hospital news to talk about, and it's definitely worth the wait. Oh, honey, let me settle into this old rocking chair of mine with a fresh cup of sweet tea and tell you what's been on my mind all week long about General Hospital. I swear, every time I turn on that show, it feels like I'm stepping right into the living rooms of Port Charles, and lately my heart's been aching something fierce for Jordan Ashford. I was sitting there the other afternoon, knitting a little scarf for my granddaughter while the sun streamed through my window when that scene came on. Jordan was in front of the mirror, carefully peeling back those bandages on her face after the terrible car accident. Lord have mercy. The way her hands trembled just a bit, you could see the fear written all over her. She looked at those scars, the ones from the burns and the deep cuts, and her whole expression just crumbled. It wasn't loud crying or dramatic yelling like you sometimes see on TV. No, it was quieter than that, the kind of hurt that sinks deep into your bones and makes a strong woman feel small and invisible. I felt my own throat tighten up because I've been there in my own way, darling. Not from a car wreck, but from life leaving its marks on me over the years, and I wanted nothing more than to reach through that screen and wrap my arms around her. Bless her heart, the doctors told her straight out in that episode on the 15th. Those scars are here to stay, at least the way they look now. A mix of burns and cuts from that near-fatal crash, and it might change how her face looks forever. Jordan just went real quiet after that, like the weight of it all pressed the words right out of her. I could tell she was slipping into that dark place, the one where you start wondering if you'll ever feel pretty or confident again. She's always been such a fighter that Jordan, tough as nails on the outside, but even the strongest of us have moments when we just want to hide away. Watching her like that made me think about how many women my age and younger too know exactly what that feels like. Life can steal your glow in the blink of an eye, and suddenly you're staring at a stranger in the mirror. Then along comes Curtis, her sweet man, promising her the world. He's holding her close and swearing that a top plastic surgeon is going to fix everything, make it all right again. I love how he looks at her with those steady eyes, full of love and determination. It warmed my old heart to see him standing by her side like that. You're still the most beautiful woman I know, he basically tells her without saying the exact words. It reminded me of my own husband back in the day, God rest his soul, always making me feel seen, even when I felt broken. But deep down, I could sense Jordan wasn't fully believing it yet. That doubt was hanging in the air like storm clouds over the lake. And just when I thought things might settle a little, in steps this Jen Sidwell character, smooth as silk and twice as slippery. Oh, sugar, he's got some kind of miracle treatment up his sleeve, the kind that promises to erase those scars completely, make her skin smooth and flawless like it was before the accident. At first, my ears perked up and I thought, well, ain't that a blessing? Maybe there's real hope here. But you know how these Port Charles stories twist and turn like a back road in the hills. Nothing good ever comes without a price. Turns out Sidwell isn't offering this out of the goodness of his heart. No, ma'am. He's using those fancy promises to pressure her, kind of twisting her arm in that quiet, sneaky way. Blackmail, plain and simple, though he dresses it up nice and pretty. My word, I nearly spilled my tea right there on the rug. I was talking right back to the TV like it could hear me. Don't you dare fall for that honey trap, Jordan. You're stronger than this. It got me reflecting on how desperation can make even the smartest woman consider things she never would on a normal day. Jordan's been through fire and back with that crash, and now she's desperate to get her beauty and her confidence back. I don't blame her one bit. We all want to feel like ourselves again when life knocks us flat. But Sidwell dangling that cure like a carrot on a stick, it feels wrong, like a fox offering to guard the hen house. I keep wondering what he's really after. Some secret from her past? A favor that could pull her back into danger? Or maybe he just enjoys having power over a woman when she's at her lowest? The show is doing such a beautiful job showing the real side of healing, not just the pretty part. It's messy and scary and full of hard choices, just like real life. You know, this whole storyline takes me back to something I saw on the show years ago, around 2017. There was a similar kind of deal with Valentine Cassadine and Ava Jerome. Two people striking a bargain that benefited them both, but came with all kinds of hidden strings. It makes me think the writers are circling back to those themes on purpose, reminding us that quick fixes often come with heavy costs. I love how General Hospital does that, weaving old echoes into new troubles, so it feels like one big family saga that never really ends. Every afternoon when the familiar music starts playing, I settle in and my heart beats a little faster, wondering what Jordan will do next. Will she push Sidwell away and trust the real love from Curtis and the doctors? Or will the temptation of that miracle cure pull her into something she might regret? I'm rooting for her so hard, praying she finds her way without losing pieces of herself along the road. These stories have taught me over the years that true beauty isn't just skin deep anyway. It's in the way you keep loving, keep fighting, and keep showing up even when the mirror shows you something different. Watching Jordan's journey has me counting my own blessings too, you know? It makes me grateful for the laugh lines and the stories etched on my own face. They're proof I've lived a full life. And it gives me hope that no matter how deep the scars go, whether on the outside or the inside, there's always a chance for real healing if you lean on the right people. The show wraps it all up in drama and surprises that keep an old gal like me coming back day after day. I can't wait to see how this unfolds in the coming weeks. Will Curtis find out about Sidwell's shady offer? Will Jordan's quiet strength win out in the end? Whatever happens, I know it'll pull at my heartstrings and leave me thinking long after the episode ends. General Hospital has a way of doing that, making these characters feel like neighbors you've known forever, with troubles that mirror our own in the sweetest, most honest way. So here I am, cup in hand, smiling through the worry because I trust the folks in Port Charles will find their light again, and maybe, just maybe, it'll remind all of us watching that we can too. Life leaves marks, darling, but love and a little faith can smooth them over in ways no miracle cream ever could. I'll be right here next time, ready to share whatever comes next. These stories sure do keep my spirit young and my hope alive, and I wouldn't trade a single minute of it. Oh, honey, pull up a chair and let me pour you a glass of sweet tea while I tell you what's been twisting my heart around like an old country road lately on General Hospital. I've been watching this show longer than some folks have been alive, and I swear every time I think I've seen it all, Port Charles throws me another curveball that makes me lean forward in my rocking chair and talk right back to the screen. Lately, my thoughts keep drifting to poor Jordan Ashford. Remember how I told you about her standing in front of that mirror, slowly peeling back those bandages after that awful car accident? The burns and cuts left marks that made her go real quiet inside, the kind of silence that comes when a strong woman suddenly feels like she's looking at a stranger's face. It broke my heart clean in two. She's always carried herself with such pride, and now she's wondering if she'll ever feel beautiful or confident again. Curtis has been right there beside her, promising the best plastic surgeon money can buy, but I can see the doubt in her eyes. Sometimes love alone isn't enough to fix what life has broken on the outside. Then along comes Jen Sidwell, smooth as melted butter on a hot biscuit, offering her a miracle cure for those scars. At first I thought, well, bless his heart, maybe he's got a kind streak after all. But you and I both know better than that in this town. Nothing in Port Charles comes without strings attached. And Sidwell's strings are tied up tighter than a Christmas turkey. He's not just being generous. He's her boss, and he's dangling that special treatment like a shiny carrot, but with conditions that make my stomach turn. He wants something in return, darling, and it doesn't smell like simple kindness to me. It reminds me so much of what happened years ago with Ava Jerome and Valentine Cassadine back in 2017. Lord, I remember that storyline like it was yesterday. Ava was living with terrible burn scars too, feeling ugly and broken every time she looked in the mirror. She struck a deal with Valentine. She agreed not to testify against him, and in exchange, he introduced her to some fancy clinic with cutting-edge technology that could rebuild her face. It seemed like a fair trade at the time, but we all know how those kinds of bargains go in Port Charles. They come back to haunt you when you least expect it. And now, wouldn't you know it, Valentine is mixed up in this current mess with the house fire too. The more I watch, the stranger everything gets, like the past and present are dancing together in some complicated waltz. So here we are with Jordan, and I can't help but wonder if history is about to repeat itself. Is Jen Sidwell going to pull the same kind of trick? He's a master manipulator, that one modern-day snake oil salesman with a fancy suit and a dangerous smile. He says he wants to help Jordan because he's her boss and cares about her well-being. But we both know that's about as believable as a fox promising to watch over the chickens. He probably knows some top-notch plastic surgeon who can make her skin look flawless again, smooth away every scar until she feels like her old self. I can already picture Jordan hesitating for just a second before saying yes, because who wouldn't want that kind of miracle when you're staring at damage every morning? But here's what worries me sick. Sugar. Jordan might think she's just getting medical help, but Sidwell could be tying her up in knots she'll never untangle. The show is hinting that she's been planted as a pawn to bring him down, yet once she takes his offer, she might end up owing him for the rest of her life. He could blackmail her into joining his shady criminal organization, forcing her to follow his sick orders whether she wants to or not. My word. The thought of strong, independent Jordan becoming trapped like that makes me want to shake my fist at the television. Don't you do it, darling. Don't let that man own you. I keep thinking about how desperate a woman can feel when her beauty and confidence get taken away in one terrible moment. Jordan's been through so much already. The crash, the pain, the quiet depression that follows. When Sidwell offers that miracle, it might sound like salvation, but I fear it's really a golden cage. Will she be strong enough to see through his sweet talk and the hidden price tag, or will the temptation to look like herself again cloud her judgment? Curtis is doing his best to support her, but I wonder if he even knows about Sidwell's real intentions yet. These stories have a way of layering the drama until you're holding your breath wondering who will crack first. Every afternoon when I tune in, my heart races a little faster. I find myself whispering prayers for Jordan while I sip my tea. Lord, give her the wisdom to see the trap before she steps in it, because I've lived long enough to know that quick fixes often come with the heaviest costs. Real healing isn't always about perfect skin. Sometimes it's about learning to love the face that carries your story, scars and all. Still, I understand why she might be tempted. We all want to feel whole again when life leaves its marks. The writers are doing such a fine job weaving this tale, bringing back echoes of Ava and Valentine's old deal while adding fresh twists with Sidwell's manipulation. It makes the whole thing feel connected, like one long family saga where the past refuses to stay buried. And with Valentine popping up again in that house fire business, it's getting more tangled by the day. I can't wait to see what happens next, whether Jordan accepts the offer, what price she'll have to pay, and if she'll ever truly break free from Sidwell's grip. You know, watching all this has me counting my own blessings too. These characters and their struggles remind me that no matter how deep the scars run, whether on the face or on the heart, there's always hope if you lean on real love and good sense instead of shady deals. General Hospital keeps teaching me that life is messy, full of temptation and hard choices, but the women who come out stronger are the ones who refuse to sell their soul for a pretty face. I'll be right here in my chair every day, cup in hand, cheering for Jordan and hoping she finds her way without losing herself. These Port Charles stories sure do keep an old lady's heart young and full of fire. They make me laugh, they make me cry, and most of all, they make me care like these folks are my own kin. What do you think, Sugar? Do you reckon Jordan will see through Sidwell's game, or is she about to step into a trap she can't escape? I'll be waiting for the next episode with you in spirit, ready to chat about whatever fresh drama comes our way. Bless their hearts for keeping us so hooked after all these years. Thank you.